Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily. I'm Crafty Emily here on Flosstube, and I'm here for a normal Flosstube video. I nearly said Flossmas. It's been 2 weeks. I think I probably burnt myself out. The kittens are going bananas. They're medium-sized cats now, my kittens, and they're going bananas. Anyway, you might see them dash past at some point. So it's been 2 weeks, but to be fair, I haven't had a lot of time to either stitch or record. They're everywhere. So I have got progress, but it's 2 weeks of progress, and if you know me, you know how much progress I normally get in a fortnight, and it's not even touching it. So I've been pretty tired, but last week I lost my time taking. I didn't lose my time, but I lost my window of my recording window, taking Maddie back to university. So I worked all the week up to the Friday. I worked on Friday and then left work at about 3:30 and drove down with Flora and Maddie to Cambridge. We got there just before 10, so it was a fairly dramatically long journey for us. We went to the Travelodge, slept, and then dropped her in university in the morning and had a bit of a mooch about, and then Flora and I set off on Saturday, which was my day off work. We set off on Saturday at about 1 o'clock, and the cats are being bananas, and got home I think just after 6:30. So it's the fastest I've ever driven home, but I was kind of over it. I was kind of over driving by then, and I was like, I'm getting home. So that was my day off, and then I was in work at 8 in the morning the next day, and I've worked every day until today when I am off. But I am going in for 2.5 hours this afternoon, just because my manager's got no cover because she's got an unexpected meeting, and so I'm going in today as well, but only just for a bit. I was going out to do the food shop anyway, so I shall just roll them on together. Righty ho! I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits of stitching to show you, and I have had a new start, but I'm doing it as a gift, so it's secret stitching, and obviously when it's given I'll show what I've done. So I've even got a piece of haul, and I've got 2 very, very kind stitchy gifts as well, which I will briefly show. I don't want to be braggy about what some 2 absolutely lovely people have sent me, but you know, can't help it sometimes. It really it touches me just unbelievably. Anyway, stitching wise, I've got this little lady here is the first thing I'm going to show you. She is the dreaming, no, she's not the dreaming girl, she's an Anna Barbara that you can only get as a kit from Knit Moscow, which is a Russian needlework shop. It's all completely legit, completely above board. You use PayPal. They ship, literally ship next day, and then it takes however long it takes to get from Moscow to wherever you are, and they are perfect. They're really lovely ladies. They are stalking each other across the floor. I apologise for the ratty cat noise right there. So this is the Four Seasons Girls, and I started with winter because we are in winter. I'm in my living room. You've met my living room. It's navy blue. There's no light. Oh my god, that was Billy. He is a chunk. Billy is a chunk. If he comes within range, I'll pick him up, but he hates being picked up. Anyway, so my winter girl will look a bit like this. I know I've got a picture. And here's where I am with her. She's going to blow out quite a bit there. So I've done, Bella, stop it. Her head and all her features are finished. Just trying to get it, there's better. Are finished. I've started the white garland around her that she's holding in her arms, and her skirt is mostly, the blue of the skirt is mostly stitched, and I've started filling in the white behind, and there's one little bit of she's got like a little town around the base of her skirt. So I've actually done quite a bit on her. This is on the piece of 36 count. It's called Granite. You can see it's kind of a greeny grey colour. It's actually lovely, and it's It's got like a marl printed, pure white on the back, printed on it, and I got that from Lakeside Needlecraft. It's 36 count Lugana, and it is glorious. And as you can see, I've got enough, I think, to put all 4 on and frame them in these hoops. I'm trying to get to the corners so that I can check. I know she's not quite in the middle, guys. I know that, but and there's a huge coffee stain. There's a coffee stain I'm going to have to get out. This is DMC, but this is do not wash. So I'm going to have to creatively get this coffee stain, which happened in the car, don't know how, out of it. It's the only mark on it, I think. No, there's a little bit more coffee here, but I'll put the other one a bit lower out of the way of that. So I'm going to have to sort this coffee stain out. Pure DMC. Well, I'm assuming it's DMC. It came in the kit. I'm not using the kit fabric. I didn't like the kit fabric. It was a kind of an oatmeal-y, natural, even weave, and it was, I think, 28 count. So the stitches were huge. So I wanted these tinky in these little oval, weird, stretchy, bendy, actually very tight, but really difficult for me to hold. I'm used to an 11 by 11 Q-snap, so that's a little difficult for me to hold. But I've got on quite well with her, and I would like to get her finished before we get into spring so that I can start the spring lady. Okay, then the other night, just for complete differentness, I picked up my Lola Crow, What the Cat Saw, which is the cat sitting on the windowsill looking out of the window. If I've got a little picture easily here, I'll pop it up. And here's where I am now. I stitched some tentacles. So there's going to be a sailing boat behind here, and I stitched some tentacles, and I'm just filling in the blue here, and I need to finish. Now, I'm using the Cool 4 DMC, obviously. It's a little tiny full coverage piece. This is on a piece of 20 count. Yes, it's 20 count gridded Ada that I have used for lots of other things. That's Shooting Star coming out there. Yeah, so what I did, I'm doing it because it's 20 count, I'm using 1 strand of DMC, but for the tentacles I did them 2 strands, so they're ever so slightly more prominent. Just the tentacles I'm doing in the two strands. I might do the cat in 2 strands as well, because the cat sits here on the corner of the windowsill, looking out to sea with the giant squid, you know, doing the black pearl thing. So yeah, so I'm loving that. I just thought I'll pick up something nice and easy. It's 20 count Ada. It's a nice easy one to bop some stitches out in. So I think I've put close to about 1,000 stitches in that, but I did some tentacles and I've done some sky. I filled in this bit of blue behind here. I finished the blue in this piece of the window, and I started on the blue in this bit here. So I put some stitches in that. I just fancied it, you know, and I've got all these whips. If I fancy stitching on something, I just need to find it, pull it, stitch on it. Whip Parade is not happening yet. I think next week I'm going to get a couple more days off work. I should go back to being 5 days a week and having my days off. So hopefully I'm going to get a chunk of time where I'm not having to like run about, and I'll have a quiet house, because for a Whip Parade I'm going to need half a day. I'm going to need half a day to do my Whip Parade. Either way, I do it. So it might be an end of January Whip Parade. I mean, it's already the end of... It's already the end of January. How can it already be the end of January? We're already a 12th through, nearly a 12th through to 2022. Oh, how are we all doing? Is everybody okay? Everybody's just normal again now. Here, our restrictions are lifting again. Omicron seems to have blown itself out, which is really good news without anything. Yes, there were a lot of positive cases, but I think that's about it. There was a lot of positive cases, but I don't think a lot of people were desperately ill from it. So our restrictions are getting lifted. This week, the schools can lift their restrictions for wearing face masks actually in class. Moving around school, yes, they still wear them, but actually in class they're going to be able to, once they're sat down, like when you're sat down in a restaurant, you can take your mask off. it's going to be like that in school again, which is going to be very much better for some of the children, like my middle daughter, who don't hear very well and kind of need people's mouths moving to hear what they're saying, because she lip reads a lot. She's not deaf. We are going in the back end of February to get her reassessed. Every few years we have to go and keep getting her checked. Her right ear, she blew her eardrum when she was about 5. Her eardrum blew. So it's never been right, and her ear canal's like super short. Very strange. Anyway, that's information you didn't need today, but there we go. I'm going to try and do this in a one today, like I like to. Yeah, so Lizzie's going to have to get her ears checked again, and she does rely a lot on, if you talk to her, if you talk to the back of her head, more often than not she is not being rude. Sometimes 15-year-old girl is being rude. More often than not she simply hasn't seen that you're making, and she doesn't switch her brain on to process the fact that someone's talking to her, because unless she sees people's mouths moving, you know, it's one of those. She's not terribly deaf, she's actually fine, but it helps a lot. Anyway, restrictions are lifting. Long story short, I will still be wearing my mask in shops and, you know, anywhere I feel I need to, but it's a bit of a relief that it seems to have passed us by without causing, you know, without decimating the population again. Right, I shall plod on. So the next project I got quite into, I could take it out of its frame. Oh crikey, that's a hard clamp. Is Falling Snow by Shannon Christie Designs, and I'm only doing the white at the moment, and I've done quite a bit more. So here is where I am now. I'm working on the white snowflakes. It's actually going to fit not bad. It's going to be about that size, I think. So it's going to be about, it's going to fill the fabric to about there. So basically all the turquoise bits. Now this piece of fabric's absolutely beautiful. It's called Shoreline. Look, it goes right down into a beach down there. But I think my piece is going to come to about here, so I'll be able to use that bit for something else, because it's pretty wonderful. But this was what I had, and it was the colour I wanted. So it's all white stitching. I'm doing it over 2 over 2 on 28 count. So it's quite big, but I like the big, I like the impact it has. And I'm just working on my white snowflakes. My thread is currently joined on at the back over here, so I'm doing something over here. And every now and again I pick it up, get a few strands of white on the go, and I get on with it for a bit. I'm just going to pop that back where I found it. Oh, it's got a needle up there as well. Oh, that's a hard old clamp. This is how I roll. There's a needle stuck through the back. Just going to poke that through where I think I might be needing to put a new stitch. There. Better on the front where I can see it than on the back where I can't, and it ends up lost or in a kitten or in my leg. Right, 2 bits to go. I've put in some stitches on Snow Wizard, which is now at 70% I think, or so close to 70%, and I've just put in a bit more of the background here. But look at my castle. I did fill in quite a few of the gaps in the castle. So, I mean, I can remember showing you when just the tippy top of this castle was coming in, and I was like, oh my god, it's the castle now, look, I'm right down here on the castle. There, yes, there are my highest castle stitches left, and I've got some background stitches here and some background stitches here that still need filling in. But the end of my fabric, look at this, if I unroll just a little bit more, there's my clamp. There's the clamp. So, oh, that coffee stain went right through. So my fabric, I reckon it's going to go to about that long. I reckon I've got that much more to go. And that is as near to a Haid as I've ever been. And I'm finishing this one. I'm finishing this one before I start the Snow Castle, which is a much bigger undertaking, because it is huge. It is like 4 times the size of this. But this is big because it's on 14 count. 14 count Haid, 2 strands on 14 count. I think that'll do, don't you? I love it. So every now and again I grab a colour and I get on with this because I love it so much. There we go. So that's my snow castle. Snow wizard. That's snow wizard. The snow castle is a much bigger undertaking. I've got the pattern, I've got the fabric, I've got most of the, I've got enough threads to start me on it, but I am not starting it until I finish that. So that's my kicker. One, to get a Haid finished so that I can say I have finished a Haid. It's a small Haid, but it'll be done. I know I've got a story keep nearly finished, that really skinny, fragile Kirsten Mill story keep. That eludes me. The pink eludes me and the pattern blows my mind. What I should do is wait for the next Haid sale, buy the bloody digital pattern and finish it using a digital pattern. But that's like admitting defeat somehow. You know, when you've literally got so little left to finish on it, it seems like admitting defeat. But I might do that because I struggle so much with the paper pattern of that. And I only have the paper pattern. I have the PDF, but it won't when my phone smashed. So I lost so much data, and when my phone smashed, it couldn't be recovered. You know, you couldn't plug it into a computer and recover the files. They were gone. I obliterated my phone. It was like I took a sledgehammer to it. It wasn't just, oh, I've cracked the screen, because this one's got a cracked screen, but it's all fine. So I have to rebuy the PDF. I know I could email her and yada yada yada, but no. I'm thinking about it because I really want that story keep finished, which I will show you in Whip Parade, obviously, because it's an ongoing whip. Okay, one more piece, and it is my pilgrim. Now, I did take a photo of this and put it up on Instagram, and the photo looked yak. This is the colour my pilgrim is. My pilgrim is not like browny pink. My pilgrim is purple and turquoise, because life should be purple and turquoise, shouldn't it? So I have completed page 6. This page of stitching was heavy going here. This page there, I've done all the overlap onto the next page, but this page 6 is complete. And I have a problem, because if you look at my pattern here, pages 1, 2, 3 and 4 are done. Pages 5, 6 and 8 are done, and 9, 10 and 11 and 12 are not done, but I have the pieces of paper. Here is my problem. I can't find page 7. I can't find page 7. I bought a paper pattern. This was my first Long Dog sampler. I didn't know about digital patterns. I didn't know patterns came in PDFs. I bought this, and I bought the Treasure Hunt bookshelf paper. I've rebought Treasure Hunt bookshelf in PDF, obviously. Obviously, because there's no way I'm doing a Haid that size, not in Pattern Keeper. But I have not rebought the Pilgrim, and I can't find page 7. I think I'm going to have to email Jules. But I'm only missing one page. And I bought a bona fide paper pattern, so there's no way I have. If I can't find that bit, I picked my room to pieces. I churned my hoard. Now, anyone who's a bit of a hoarder or watches the hoarding programs understands churning the hoard. I churned it. I found all sorts of good things, but I did not find page 7 of my pattern. And I'm taking a breath, and which makes me cough. I've taken it out of the Q-snap, and I've put it to one side for now, while I figure out page 7. Pooh. I think I'm going to email Jules. We'll see. Anyway, that's the stitching I've done. So if you know me, and you know how much stitching I do, I've not done much. That's 2 weeks. But I've been very busy. I've been very tired. Now, when I get back from taking Maddie, I know I live in the UK. If you live in America or Canada or Australia or somewhere like that, you have to drive 500-600 miles to get to where you need to go. And you don't bat an eyelid because it's normal. In the UK, if you drive 300 miles, you've driven from one side to the other. That's basically it. You know, in the UK, it's really quite hard to drive thousands of miles without wiggling around, doubling back on yourself. And it's not something I do very regularly. So to do it twice in 2 days, I was fine on the Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, oh, I hit this slump of tired, and it made me very ratty, and it made me a little irrational, and I wasn't a very nice person for a couple of days there. But it's just the tired. It's just the tired. I'm 45. You know, it's not, oh, I'm just going to jump in my van and drive. I'm going to drive, you know, the other side of the country. No, I'm tired and I'm old, and the concentration of motorway driving, it just saps it out of you. So it's been, I've not, you know, in the evenings, I've literally just sort of slumped and watched a movie and stuff. It's been that kind of thing. But hey ho, you know, life happens. It is what it is. I'm not putting any pressure on myself this year. I've not joined any challenges, nothing. I've just stepped away from any kind of challenge, anything that I have to tick. The 1,000 stitches a day for 100 days is running, and it's a lovely group. But personally, I feel like a piece of rubbish that I can't keep up because I want to win. I want to win. I want to do it. And I can't because I'm too freaking tired, and I work, and I'm not just sitting there stitching all day. You know, life occurs, and I've just said no. I'm just going to just take a breath and go, your group's amazing. I love it. Full Coverage Fanatics. I adore them. Absolutely love looking at the group. I get so many, I want to do that, I want to do that, oh my god, how wonderful does that look. I love doing that, but I've stepped away from the challenges because I can't keep up, and it makes me feel terrible that I've said I will do this and then I can't do it. So the only thing I want to do is get stitching in on the key. I want the key 3/4 finished by this time next year. So my key, my big 14 count Haid, custom mills Haid of the key, which I'll show you in the whip parade, but not right now because obviously if I've got a picture of it, I'll put one somewhere maybe, but you've all seen it over and over again. It's enormous and I love it. I need that. I need to get that mostly finished. I think I think I'm at about 36%, and I was meant to be at about 50%. But I'd like to really get that to 60-70% by this time next year. So I'm going to put a lot of work in on that this year, and that'll be instead of working on other pieces, shall we say. Finish my coffee. Right. My piece of haul and my not so secret but secret new start. I bought myself cross stitch for the soul, Emma Congdon. I saw a pattern on Instagram and I thought, I know, I have somebody I need to stitch that for. So I searched through her Etsy shop and was like, right, it's not in her Etsy shop. That means it's in one of her books. Which book's it in? It's not in the book I've already got. So good old Amazon, next day delivery. I had it within 24 hours. I started it last night. I've done a bit paper pattern, and I have done, because I think I actually have 2 people I can stitch this for who it's extremely apt. I'm not going to show, it's one from in here. I'm not going to show you, but you can hear what I've done is I've sellotaped a piece of bag, sellotaped a piece of bag over the pattern, which I am now colouring in with a Sharpie because I have to mark as I go. And if I don't mark as I go, I completely lose my... it takes me so much longer. But I want to stitch this again. I know I want to stitch this again. I didn't even want to faff around with the printer making working copy. So I've just stuck a piece of plastic over it. I have a Sharpie pen, and as I do my stitches, I'm scribbling them out. And then when I've finished, I will carefully remove my piece of plastic, hoy that away. So a piece of single-use plastic has become a piece of double-use plastic, which I figure is better than single-use plastic. And I will put a new piece on, and then I will stitch it twice. I think I'm stitching this one twice. Anyway, so I'll show it you when it's been given, when it's been gifted. but I'm using a piece of fabric I found. I had to put some waste fabric on the sides. It's already got a finish on it. It's got my oh, I can't remember her name, the Merry Minty Sal in one corner. It's a piece of grey linen, very nice, perfect. And I rejigged all the colours because the original is in mint and pink, and I'm doing it in blue and green and purple. So I jigged the colours, so when it's done I'll be able to explain what I've done and everything. But as I say, it's going to be a gift. I'm not 100% sure the person I'm sending it to will see, so there we go. Anyway, right, so I bought that and that came. I bought that for me. Now I've had two very, very generous gifties sent to me. Yesterday I got a package from a lovely viewer called Tina. Thank you, Tina, so very much. You sent me some lovely things. The best thing in the bag was a bag of DMC. A bag of DMC, which, you know, is just marvellous, isn't it? It's always a marvellous thing to receive. And a whole load of the, what are they called? The variations, the Coloris ones. These ones, these variations, the ones that aren't on the aren't in the paper sleeves, aren't in the plastic sleeves, are on the paper sleeves. Now I can still buy these, and then they're not old, they're just, but oh, there's loads of the variations in there, and then some metallics. There's one of those. What are they called? Coloris. There's Colorises in here, and I've got none. I own no Coloris. There is one piece of Devil Effect, which is very, very useful. I just hate stitching with it, but it's extraordinarily useful. That's what I mean. You get the variations in these plastic sleeves now, which is a waste of plastic. And and the DMCs are paper wrapped, so they're older, and quite a lot of them have got the little tab, the little anti-tamper, I think it must be like an anti-tamper tab on the top, which holds on, so you can't actually pull out from the skein until you've taken this off, which my Celtic lady, but they are very much appreciated. She sent me fabrics as well, so lovely. I've got some nice little bits of fabric there, some bits of Ada in a piece of 32 count Murano that I was going to go and buy myself a piece of 32 count Murano tomorrow, and I don't need to now because she sent me one. Yay! And the colours I'm using for my new Emma Congdon, I've pulled directly from all but one. I've taken 161 from Snow Wizard, yes. All the others I've pulled directly from my new little bag of wonder. They will get bobbinated and put in my stash, which I am working on. That's the other thing I've done. So there's my colour palette. So I've got 2 purples, 2 greens, I've got the 2 blues there, and the 161, and then there's a lovely bright red, and then there's these 2 variations, the grey, which tones perfectly with the fabric. So I'm doing some of the curly bits. It's one of the ones that's a circle. I'm doing some of the curly bits in that, and then the 161 went perfectly with this variations. That's obviously got 161 in it, so they're going to work together really nicely on it. So that I pulled my colours from my new little bag of wonder, and I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much. You have sent me your address, so I can send you some bits back, which would be lovely, and I'm very appreciative. And then my other packet that came, I knew was coming, and very, very, very lovely lady who doesn't like getting shouted out, but we both know. I know when she knows. She sent me her pack of, let me get them out. Let me put him back where he belongs. The 1 to 35s, which I've got a couple of. So I've got the 1 to 35s because I just love the way these lie together as a rainbow. These guys here, and then this end here. Some of these are a bit peely-paley. I mean, they're wonderful and I'll need them, but I might put a... But I can see something beautifully rainbow. I can see something beautifully rainbow. So she sent me those. Thank you very, very much. And she messaged me back when it was either Michael's or Joanne's were having a big sale. And she said, I can get DMC for like, and what was it? Something ridiculously like 38 cents a skein or something. Or it came out at 38p a skein or something. And she was like, can I kit you something? Would you like some DMC? We'll do a trade in kind of thing. I'm going to make her a bag and some bits and bobs, you know, to say, oh my God, thank you so much kind of thing. And I said, well, I've got this Haid that I want to start this year. Don't suppose you could get me all the colours for it. I felt so cheeky saying it, but it's not. It's a gift, but it's not a gift. I'm going to send some lovely things back in lieu of payment. She's so marvellous and has sent me a full kit up of my piece. So I got not one but 2 bags of bobbinated, guys. They're already bobbinated because she knows I use bobbins. So this is for, I'm going to insert a picture here. I've already got the pattern. It's loaded into Pattern Keeper ready. I am ready to go. It's a Stitch in Time. It's the stitching shelf, and she's from the winter, and she is the mini. She's the Quick Stitch Mini, I think she's called. Yeah, she's not mini. She's 370 by 200 and something. Anyway, so I'm thinking I want to start her right now this second. And I looked and looked and looked and looked and couldn't find. I knew I had a piece of Ada. The piece of Ada I had is just a bit too small to have the right margins. So in a box of stuff, coincidentally from the same lady, the last lot of stuff she sent me, which was stuff from her stash, I've got a piece of Dusky Pink, 25 count. I'm doing it 25 count. 25 count Lugana. It's Dusky Pink, but it's full coverage, and a lot of it is pale and white, so it's going to show up nicely. So I have this. Yeah, this is the size Amy Stewart minis are. She's either a Quick Stitch or she's a mini. I think she's a mini. It's just like the clip out from the, and I think it's going to fit about that size. So what I've been doing when I've got a slack few minutes and I can't be doing stitching, I'm gridding this. Can you see I'm gridding with that shiny filament stuff? So I'm going to grid the entire thing so that I have it dead central. I have the pinks are every 50. That's the centre there. That's the centre of the piece of fabric. The pinks are every 50 and the turquoises are the in-betweens. So I'm gridding myself up with thread. So it's going to take me a little while, but I'm going to grid fully and then start it. So that's partly what I've been doing as well, is counting and gridding, and not just doing it with the pen dead fast. For me, that's a White Ada thing, gridding with a pen. I feel a nice piece of Lugana requires a bit more effort. So I've had some wonderful gifts and I have a new Haid to start, and then I just got so fed up with my DMC boxes. Yeah, I've got the 2 double-sided boxes and it's basically just a Hoya in shit show of DMC everywhere. I have DMC literally coming out of my ears, you know, they're everywhere. Everywhere I look there's a skein of DMC. It's either been eaten by a cat or whatever, but it's there. So I took a big deep breath. I found 2, not 1, because I'm a hoarder. I found, while I was churning my hoard, I found 2 bags of plastic bobbins that I've bought at different times, and I thought, right then, I grabbed my Sharpie pen, I grabbed my bags of bobbins and I set to and spent a very happy evening bobbinating up. I have got multiple skeins of some colours that I've just bought and rebought because I'm not organised, and it has to stop. I need to buy only the colours I don't have, because I don't have a full set. I mean, I've got loads more now than I have. They're going to be in a separate box. I am going to go and do a little smash and grab. I'm going to not do a smash and grab. I'm going to have a calm mooch around Hobbycraft. I'm going to have a really good scruffle around in there. Probably tomorrow now that I'm going. I was going to do it today, but I'm going a couple of hours of work. But with a couple of hours of work means a couple of hours pay, doesn't it? So I can go and do a little mooch around Hobbycraft. I'll probably go tomorrow afternoon and just mooch myself around. They're going in a separate bobbin box because none of those are pulling from my master set, which is lovely. Actually, it's lovely to know that I don't have to go rootling for colours. Usually I'm a rootler and then the colour I want's not there. So I thought, right, get this sorted. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through bobbinating all my loose skeins, and then I'm going to organise completely my boxes so that every skein of DMC I have, apart from those and my Celtic Lady, which is a full kit up, and the DMC's different because it came with the kit and they're old dye lots. And yes, some of the colours are slightly different. So they're staying where they live. They are staying where they live. Other than that, they're all going in my bobbin boxes and I'm just pulling from one set. She says confidently. Right, guys. I have been talking for 36 minutes. This was going to be a quickie. Very few pictures to insert. I'm going to try and keep it. I'm going to try and get back to going weekly 10 days-ish. It depends on my days off. It depends how much time I get. Also depends how much stitching I do. I know some of you just don't mind if I don't even show stitching, but I feel like I should because it's Flossmas. Flossmas. Oh, my brain is squoze. I posted out over half of my Flossmas gifts. Some of them have started arriving. The other half are safe and sound in my room, apart from one needle minder that my cats have vanished. So one lady will not get the one that was shown. You will get one of my needle minders, the same swirly ones, but it might not be the exact one that's shown because I cannot find it. It's gone. Everything else I found, everything else is all laid out right. So hopefully everybody gets what they're meant to get. And if you don't, and it's ever so slightly different, know that that's because I'm disorganised and I'm crap and everything's just muddled up. But I'm doing my best. So I've got the other half to get out. I had outstanding Etsy orders that I just don't know what happened to my brain. They're gone, they're dispatched. I can only apologise for my ridiculous lack of capability. There we go. Right, I think that's me, guys. We're getting on for 38 minutes here and I've just talked non-stop to the camera, and I'm even surprised my poor little phone is not cut out yet. You might get a Flosstube before you get a whip parade. We will just play it by ear and see how we go. I need to do a whip parade just for my own organisational lack of. Same old story with me. Anyway, have yourselves a really good week, or however long it takes me to come back. And sorry it's been so long, and I will see you really soon. And I don't know where my cats went because they were being really bad and they're probably outside. The kittens go out now. They maraud around the garden. Honestly, they're like a pair. We've not had any wildlife in the house yet, but I think we will soon. Right, guys, I will see you soon. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.